I just did this flagstone sidewalk on top of an old sidewalk. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Today we're going to put stone on this sidewalk. And this is the stone. I'd say it's about a little less than a half-inch thick. So the first thing we're going to do is wash it all off first.
Alright.
This is the pattern he gave us. Lay these all out dry.
Yeah, well that's what I stopped.
Because you gotta fine tune them when you're putting them in. There. Finish that off.
The old book? Yeah.
It's gonna
That was
fit
your
right
old
in here
shirt.
like that.
You came in the front door, we were sitting in
Yeah,
there.
ready to go.
I had a meeting.
So I gotta cut this out here. It's gotta go up there. And with we're 4.5 inches out. So that cut mark gotta come to here. And better too short than too long because we could always cut it again. And we're gonna go right even with that. Right there. And then even with that. Right there. And see how close we are. Okay, go right in there. This little piece will go right behind it, just like that. Perfect. Well, I'm gonna come right here with this one, like that. I'm gonna move the stone over. Like this. Take a good estimated guess. And that should be it. Like this. That's where that goes. You can see I'm laying it out on top here. Look at this stone. See that? It's got a big bow in it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cut that bow off and go this way. Then I'll have that piece separate. Well, the first thing I did is I laid everything out dry. And I can't preach that enough. I can't preach that enough. Laying it out dry, you know where everything goes. I got to put a little pad up here. Everything's cut out. So now when I put it in, everything's going to match. The owner's happy with the pattern. And then I put it in. So I can't preach that enough. Block, brick, stone, whatever you're doing, lay it out dry. I'm going to mix the cement. I got 1 bucket of masonry sand, a half a bucket of Portland. See that Portland cement? That's a half a bucket and a full bucket. So I put the full bucket in of sand, like that. I put in a half a bucket of Portland. On other parts of the country, they'll do this. Depends on where you're from. They mix it up dry first before you put the water in. Mix it up dry with the water, a little bit at a time, until you get it right where you want it. The Portland cement is the same kind of cement. That pretty good. This was all power washed. I'm just gonna wet it because that cement is so rich, 2-to-1. I have no problem sticking to it. I'm gonna wet the back of the stone too. Just damply wet it. If you want cement to stick, you gotta wet it first. But that doesn't apply in brickwork or block work. So I'm gonna get it all in here, just like this. I want it higher in the back here, so the water goes off of it. Anytime you're doing work, you gotta ask, where's the water gonna go? It's the biggest question. So I got it pretty much there. A little more. Right here a little bit, just for good sake. And then take the wet side of the stone, put it right in there, like that. You know something doesn't go that way, it's this way. This side walks out a square. This side of the stone is bigger than this side when I cut it. You get a rubber hammer. Get them at the dollar store. Tap it, you can see the bubbles coming out of there. Once in a while you'll see a bubble come out. What you're doing is you're seating that stone. Just like that. So that's good. I'm going to go to the next stone. Same thing, wet it first. Like that. Wet the back. Not too wet, just dampen it up so the cement will stick to it. Put it in like that. Now, if you notice, these joints are going in at the same time. Now, if you live in Florida, or Texas or California, that's not a big issue. But around here, those joints don't go in the same time. They're gonna fall out. So that's my beginnings. And we're gonna keep going. Same thing. Dampen it up pretty good. Like that. Now this is almost like tile work. Did I do this right? It's almost like tile work because you're putting a real thin base in. Tile don't stick up here in Pennsylvania. Like I said, you go to Florida or you go to California, it's a different story. Around here, don't work. Different kinds of masonry works at different kind of places. You gotta ask the local guys and keep preaching it. What works in their area and what doesn't. So I got it pretty close here. Okay, let's try that. Is not going to stay on that. Now we're going to go around this railing. Same thing, wet it first. It's going to stick. That's how you make it stick. Wet the back of the stone a little bit, like that. Put it in, just like that. Tap it, get the bubbles out of it. Good. We got this little piece here. I'm going to go right in there like that, hide that. Make it look like the rest of the stone. Just like that. So I'm continuing on right here, following my heights. You're going to notice it's real wet. Real wet. And they're moving. See, they're moving? Have to let it set. Once it's set, then I can get on top of it and clean it up. So, they're still floating. When you do it like this, they're floating. Well, I'm finishing up, and the sun came out. It was cool and cold, and the sun came out. That means that I gotta hurry up now. So I'm doing the same thing. Only got a couple more to go, and then I can start cleaning up. See that? Very simple. No big deal, take your time. Just like that. Put it down. A little more, sometimes you gotta put a little more in there. Just tell if it's too low, you put a little more in. If it's too high, you take a little out. That's it. See, I'm even all around my sides. Even if you put one stone in a day, you're still doing good. So as you can see, it's about an hour later, it's about 70 degrees out. I'm just filling in the holes. I'm going to start sponging it pretty soon. See that, just filling in the holes. One reason I like to do the joints like this is because if I don't, I'll be back in 5 years fixing them. So I do the joints at the same time. Now if you live in Carolinas or Florida, it's a different story. Down here you got to do it at the same time. So just get everything flattened out. It's drying up a little bit. So I got this all scraped down. You gotta wait till the timing's right. You just get yourself a bucket of water right here, a little bucket of water and a sponge. Where do I get my sponges? From my neighbor's car seat, my cousin's car seat when he wasn't looking. And you just sponge around the edges. And you're gonna keep doing that. You're gonna have to go over it again. Get all the big stuff off the first time. That's it. Just go over the whole stone. And it leaves a film. We're going to come over tomorrow and just get a little scrub brush and go over it. Just like that. You just rinse that sponge right out. There's hardly any water in it. Just do this. Keep doing it. Get that patio clean. So I'm this is my first run around. First run around, get all the big stuff. I'm going to go back over it one more time and I'll be all done. See, you get all the big stuff, all the corners, just like that. Keep checking it out. Well, I'm cleaning it up down here at the bottom. Just doing one of these deals. Then just sponging it off, just like that. See that? Make it blend into the other part. And then tomorrow I'll look at it and see what it looks like. Maybe I'll paint the whole thing. I'll see tomorrow. Now this is the second time I'm going over it, and I am going over all the spots where I think is bad. Because tomorrow I'm going to clean it. I want to clean it the best I can. It leaves a little white film this way, but at least the joints will stay there. Well, I'm back the next day and I'm looking at it. You can see a light little film on it. So cement takes up to 30 days to really kind of cure. So if you get it the next day with a soft brush and some water and you clean it up, a little brush like this, see? And clean it up, that usually does the trick. Get a soft scrub brush and I get the hose and then I just dampen it down like this. Down, I just get the scrub brush on here. That'll get rid of all that film. Now some guys use acid if they're doing a big job and they'll wait a few days, a light solution, that works too. But if you get it the next day, you're good. And you just wash it off as you're going. That's it. So I'm all finished with it. The water's all going off. That's what I want. So it's all done very good. So now I'm just going to get a little Portland cement and mix it into a paint. That's it. Add a little water. Mix it up into a paint. This is about a week later. I'm just going to wet it. All I want to do is paint it so it all blends in. That's all I'm doing. I just get my basic masonry paint and paint it. Everything matches. You see that? No big deal. Step off. Perfect, that's all. Sometimes you don't have to do it, but I'm doing it. I told him I was going to do it. I'm going to talk about that job a little bit. If there was cracks in that sidewalk, I would have never did that. I did do it over a patio, inside patio, where it doesn't freeze or lift up in the winter. I put wire mesh over it, stucco wire mesh. It worked out good. But I would never do that if it was an outside sidewalk. And I always cut it. If there was expansion joints right there, I also put an expansion joint. Best thing you can do is lay it out dry when you're doing stonework like that. Then you know where everything goes. And when you mix your cement, you're all ready, everything fits, the owner approves it, everybody's happy. Tile in our area doesn't work. People might say, oh, how come you don't use tin set and put the joints in later? It doesn't work. Our weather is ferocious here, ferocious. The water gets in the joints, it freezes in the winter, it pops the tile up. That's why I lay everything at the same time. The joints, the bottom, everything's the same time. It's one solid piece. Step height. When you're putting those stones against the steps, you might have to adjust the other steps, take those treads off to make sure you got the same height from the top to the bottom. Sponges. People ask me, Mike, where do you get your sponges? I better show you this. If you ever go around and someone's throwing out an old couch or something, this is where you get your sponges. They're the best sponges in the world. So don't buy them. Go pick some junk. One guy see me picking junk. He asked me how I was doing. He was feeling sorry for me. I said, no, I'm just after the sponges. Stone. When you get thin stone and you get it long, if it's too long, it'll have a tendency to bend up, like mud pies in a pond or something. The top will get hot, the bottom will be dry, and it'll bend over time. So you're better off thinner stones, shorter. If they're big stones, thicker. Some guys will do a whole patio. You can't clean it the next day. They'll do a whole patio and then they'll use acid at the end. That's okay. Everything depends on the job. Everything you have to adjust, and certain jobs do it certain ways and certain things. There's no right or wrong way to do it, as long as it works. That's my opinion. So thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. Until next time.